Hi everyone, this is Kayvon, and I want to apologize for the poor lighting. I've been getting migraines, and so I'm choosing to record in a darker environment right now in order to take better care of myself. But my intentions for this video actually have not been working out. I was going to talk about what's going on in my process and talk about what my intentions are for this channel right now and all the different projects I've had going through it that I just want to let people know where I'm at with, but I'm finding myself overwhelmed with anxiety and really unable to talk. So what I've decided to do instead is allow myself to process a little bit on camera and then see if it's possible for me to say the things I intended to say. So right now, what I'm feeling is this really intense pressure in my chest. I can feel this small child part in me saying that they do not feel safe to make videos anymore because people have been mean to us online. This part is very small, and I can see that she needs comforting. I can see that she is between 2 to 4 years old and has a polyfragmented system of her own that makes up the backbone of my system. It's essentially the core of the part of myself that I've been in for the last few days. Especially the last couple of days since I found that video of us and our old friend from the mind control that I mentioned in my last video about the MK tapes. And I'm finding that in the last couple of days since I found that video, I've really come in contact with this deep sense of emptiness from these core parts that were split apart when we were very young. I'm finding that these parts were reconnected to us in all their brokenness when we were 14 through a very nasty reprogram that was completed around the time that that video of us and our old friend was made. And we're remembering that this video coincided with a ritual date that's personal to us, if not significant for the cult itself. Definitely one that's personal to us. That takes place tomorrow. And we're reflecting on the fact that we've already healed the traumas around that ritual date as they originally happened when we were a little kid, but we still have many traumas to heal around it from rituals that were performed on that date yearly afterwards to try and re-traumatize us around it. So we're recognizing that we're triggered, that we have a lot of healing to do. And I'm really aware that my eyes look really blank and really dark right now, and that's scaring me and bothering me and giving me a sense of shame. I've been attacked on here for the way that my eyes look in ways that actually are conflicting. People have said conflicting things about my eyes to try to make me look like a perpetrator, so that just goes to show how little merit what a lot of said people really have to say. But I've been attacked on here for the way that my eyes look because apparently they look cold. And I would just like to say that from my perspective, they look dissociated, which would make sense considering we are a recovering monarch slave. And of course, pardon me if I ever appear angry or distant or something after going through all that terrible trauma. So anyways, I'm noticing that's a trigger, and just noticing I have these really self-conscious parts that are between 2 and 4 years old that don't want us to be making this video right now because they're scared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down and I'm going to hold them and I'm going to breathe love and light into them, and I'm going to ask them for forgiveness for us not having taken good care of them over the years. I'm going to ask them to let go of their resentment and rage towards us for us not taking care of them. And I'm promising them that I'm going to take care of them from here on out. I can feel their energy shifting and starting to rise. What was a block in my chest and top of my stomach area is now starting to uncoil and flow upwards into my face, and I feel this warmth in my face. I don't know if a little color has returned to my face just now, or I'm just noticing it now, but I can see a little bit of color in my face, and that's making me feel better. I can feel the block dissolving. And what I just did was something that I intuitively knew to do. I could feel their pain and feel why the block was there, that they were angry at us for not having taken care of them for so long, and so that's why I said what I had just said now. I'm asking them to allow me to continue with the video, to make the video as I wanted to, and talk about the things I wanted to talk about. They're saying no, at least some parts are. Some parts are also saying yes. I feel that the older parts in the system are starting to release while the younger parts are still holding on. I'm asking them why they're not willing to let go. And they're pointing me towards trauma, towards something that they think I did. We were told when we were 14 that we had done a really awful thing that attached these parts to us in a bond of rage. These parts became enraged with us and were trauma bonded with us essentially through their anger towards us around this thing that they thought we did, that the mind control programmers had simply tricked them into believing we did, but we didn't really do. It involves horrific violence. I'm not going to go into it here. But I am showing these parts what monarch mind control is and comforting them so that they understand that we are not the bad person that they thought we were. We are simultaneously showing them things about the cycle of abuse to let them know that our father, who was seemingly responsible for what happened, was also a victim himself of the mind control. And we're telling them about responsibility, and we're showing them about his childhood. And this is all to make sure that they do not reattach their anger towards him and remain in a traumatized place towards him. We're making sure that they understand the truth of the situation so that they have tremendous love and compassion for all beings, including ourselves, and can dissolve in a space of integration, as they are so young and fragmentary. To come in contact with this information will integrate them automatically. Like there will be nothing left to hold them up as separate from us once these wounds heal. A song has started playing in my head to disrupt this process. I don't know if it has come from our own system or come from some sort of mechanical mind control that we experience, but we are doing what we can to neutralize the effects of that, to locate any parts that are responsible for that or are reinforcing it, to minimize and or dissolve it depending on its cause. I'm looking deeply into the occult meaning of the lyrics to this seemingly benign song and connecting with interjects of the person who wrote the song and sang the song. I'm asking those interjects for forgiveness, for me not loving them and not healing them sooner, for me not being there for them to begin with, and for the splitting to have happened at all. And I'm explaining to them what happened in monarch mind control and what that all is, in the same sort of way that I did with those younger parts. But these interjects are a bit older, and so I'm using a different approach. I'm noticing myself starting to twitch if I become too mindful of this energy block in my stomach and chest that I'm now starting to see as not just a block. I think what I was originally dissolving has passed, but now it's an actual set of parts that are holding on to this deep pain, trying desperately to keep it in. And I can feel the muscles are clenching so deeply it hurts really bad. I'm asking these parts to let go, but they're pointing inside to an introject of an abuser with whom they were bonded very young. I'm asking them to be open to understanding who this person is and that this person is not all of who they think that they are. I'm showing them that this is not really the abuser. This is an internal copy of them, like an image of them that we've internalized. They're too young to really understand the concept of internalization, but we are rapidly developing them inside through inner work to help them to see what inside and outside means, what having a part inside and having a part or a person outside, there being a person outside means. Sorry if that was confusing. It's hard to narrate this while I'm doing it, and there's so much that I can't really translate because it's happening in the subconscious and it's happening with parts that are so young. It's like I'm able to look down into my subconscious from my conscious mind through a form of self-hypnosis and stay simultaneously grounded in the external world while being conscious of things that were previously unknown to me in my internal world. And I'm not able to be fully conscious of what's happening in the internal world and translate it effectively with any groundedness in the external. So I just have to balance. I can't really properly translate because of how the mind works. But I'm doing my best. And I'm focusing on healing, and I'm seeing this light that parts are obviously visualizing to try to help us with this process. I can see that dissociated parts in my system are co-visualizing and creating this light-filled energy that is descending into these parts that are suffering and helping to uncoil them. We've now successfully been able to remove these young child parts from their traumas and move them into a healing part of the system where they will begin to heal. This is enabling us to switch states automatically into Katy, and now I'm going to be able to tell you more about what we wanted to say in the first place. So I'm sorry, Kayvon's not going to be able to talk because he's wrapped up in this process, but we have been able to remove enough blocks to be able to switch states and allow me to talk. So I'm honestly considering just splitting this video up and making a part 2, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just say a few things I wanted to say. I really wanted to thank people, along with Kayvon, of course. We both wanted to thank people, but I was going to let him talk, for having given us so much love on this channel and supported us so much. And I wanted to let people know that we are aware that we have multiple series going on, different types of videos that we have not been able to make as much progress with as we would have liked to this date, but that we are not abandoning any of them, that we intend to follow through on all of them. It just may be slow going as we are trying to balance so much. Balancing our healing process, this channel, our email communications, even just within this channel, moderating comments has been taking a lot of our time, as we've had parts that have continued to take over and look at the comments even though we didn't want them to and we wanted our boyfriend to. We've still been struggling with that, but we've dealt with it by just having the best moderation system that we can, really figuring out how to do this properly and devoting proper time to it to make the parts who want to do it feel in control. So we've been dealing with a lot of that, and just making videos is exhausting. And then, of course, like I said, dealing with our healing process, answering emails. And then, of course, we're in a romantic relationship with someone with whom we live. And that requires time. It's just very, very overwhelming trying to live this life and do the work I'm doing. And so I just want people to know that we're doing our best. And in regards to some of our series, I wanted to specifically address some of them in this video. Like, for example, our series called For Allies, an Introduction to MKUltra. I think that's what it's called. We've only been able to do the first part of that, and we want to make many videos in that, and we want you to know that we are going to be making videos on that in the near future. We also have not been able to make much progress with our aliens, entities, and astral projection FAQ series. Q&A series. It's really hard for me to talk because this block is still really, really painful in my body. But I'm trying to do this anyway because I really want to put this out here right now. So, the aliens and entities series, I am not really able to make much progress on that right now. I made one video for it, and that was about a question somebody asked about auras. We recently finally had a big block around it pass through a nightmare. That was very painful, and we're still coming to terms with that. So I just want people to know that at the time that we made that Q&A video, we were hoping that by making the introduction to it and putting out there that we wanted people to ask us questions about that stuff, that the questions would kind of help some of our internal blocks pass and move us into a deeper space of healing around it so that we could then talk more freely. Instead, we've actually found ourselves getting more traumatized. And so while we have put an effort to start moving through some of the trauma that we need to in order to talk about it more freely, I actually feel like we've been set back a bit. So we've stopped looking at that video and the comments, and I just want people to know that if you see that and you want to reach out on there, you're welcome to ask questions, and it just may be months before we're able to even read them in order to make videos, but we do want to when we're able, as we do have things to say about it. It's just twisted up in fragmentation right now. So what else do I want to say? With our deprogramming series and our preventing reaccessing, I recognize that in the last few months we've been going really slowly with that, and we're sorry for that. We have reasons for that, and we are going to keep making videos there. It's just, like I said, there's reasons for why we've had to slow down. We think that it will actually increase the quality and has increased the quality of those videos since we have. And I'd also like to say that for those who are aware of our blog in which we were transcribing videos from that series into text form, edited to make it easier for people to reference, we have not abandoned that either. We just, since our channel got so much attention, we've been really shut down around a lot of things and have not yet been able to return to that, but we will. And there's other series as well I wanted to talk about. I'm trying to think. Our Healthy Coping Challenge. We actually have been thinking a lot about how to approach that because we got shut down around it about 2 weeks in, but we just had another breakthrough today with some parts coming together to share ideas about what we could do with that safely, and so I think that we will be posting in that soon also. Okay, I feel like there's things I'm forgetting, but this is really long. I thank anybody who bears with me through this stuff, who has the interest to watch our 20-minute long videos and hear us ramble about our process and try to put things together for you guys. It really means a lot to us, and I just want everybody to know how much we care about what we're doing. You know, people have said just awful things about us on here, and it breaks my heart because while Katy, the part I'm speaking from, I'm not all that involved right now in our channel. Kayvon and Damien have mostly been doing the work. I see how much they care about this, and I see how people twist the fact that they have a flatter affect than me and are more traumatized than me to try and put them down and make them feel like they don't care about others and that they're some kind of perpetrator. It's very painful because these are parts who were used to program others, and they don't do that anymore. I watch them every day. I pay attention to everything that goes on in the system. And I really just am angry and frustrated that people would say such things about them, because they're like my best friends, and I've seen how far they've come. Okay, that's all I've got to say for this. I hope that I don't even know. I'm gonna go. I don't really even know if I want to post this video, but I probably will. It's just been hard for us to post lately, so we're just trying to put out there what we can. Thank you.